Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Whimsy World. This episode's a little bit different. So, right before recording this episode, we had the cameras on, the microphones going, and then I looked across to Elle and I noticed that she just wasn't feeling like herself. There was something a little bit off and not normal. And so, other than starting the whole, welcome back to Whimsy World, we went a little bit different direction where I pretty much just started asking her, what's wrong? What's going on? And we went into this incredible long conversation just because we had the mics going and the cameras recording that we're now deciding to share with you. This conversation is all about performing and how when we're not listening to our true rhythm or flow, how it feels like we're doing things out of force. And it turned out to be a fantastic episode. So I hope you really, really enjoy it. This was as deep as the conversations can get, as personal as they can get. But something that we're really excited to put out. So thank you all for listening. We love you all so much and I hope you enjoy.
I don't know. I can't place why. Can't place it.
We can do this another day.
No, I already got ready. I just want to talk about my baby.
Why?
Because I really want everyone to hear nice devotion.
What about my baby?
I know. Well, right now I want to focus on you. Because the last time we sat down, we talked about the going off social media for me and then the creating more structure for you. And I feel like we've really followed through on that. That's exciting to me. What? What?
Baby just doesn't feel like herself right now.
What do I feel like?
It feels like you're trying to do it because you already put effort into like making it happen today and you told yourself it'll happen today. But it feels like there's like this bodily resistance. And it doesn't feel like it's like you afraid to say something or like talk about something. It just feels like you're just not in the state to record.
But aren't you always telling me that I can record in any state?
Yeah. But there's always like there's a state thing of like embrace being sad on camera, embrace not wearing makeup on camera, embrace all these things. But it's also embracing when you don't want to record. Because it's also like completely okay.
Like I thought I did, and then I just
Yeah. I want us to embrace that.
it's like I can.
I know you can. It's not a matter of you can or can't. Baby can do anything. No more can she. Does it feel like her highest excitement and where her energy wants to go at this moment? And baby's more in the reflection and cuddle with baby in bed as we watch a movie state right now. Not in the podcast dress, all those states right now. Even if she mustered up enough energy to put it on. literally in the middle of her period right now.
I tell myself I can do it.
What part are you telling yourself that?
The part of me who wants an episode to go on Monday. I don't want to give the file to Samisha too late.
We don't have to put one out.
I know, but then I feel like we broke our streak.
We were having a streak?
Yeah.
We took like months off. Then we had multiple times we did one, then nothing. One, nothing, three, then nothing. What's the point of a streak? We're going to keep this forever?
Yeah, I guess I was feeling just proud of us for putting energy and making it happen.
We're back at it, most definitely.
Maybe pushing myself to record during this time. It's not.
I don't think so.
It just means it's a good lesson. We record, we can record so many during. I have like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks every month where I feel really good.
And even then, if we spend those 2.5 weeks this upcoming month on the board and don't record a single LBL, it's okay too. Or Whimsy. LBL.
You always call it LBL.
I love that name. I love both names.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They are pretty names, right?
Yeah. But yeah, it's okay. Baby's standing on business when it comes to stepping into her power happily when it's time to. And she's in this season of the month where it's not really time to. This is why we're different than like the 3 posts a day and the 1 pod a week and all that. Like, we're different. It actually goes against what we stand for.
Different. That's
I feel like the sadness, I think just general, I mean, you're on your period, but like, you could have just been that for anything. But I think when you are feeling tired or feeling like you don't want to do something or just want to be sad or fearful or anxious still, whatever it is, when you feel as if you must do something while in those states, that's where it only gets worse. Because we're shaming ourselves into like being a different way than how we want to be in that moment.
Yeah. I think it's a lot to do with just the physical energy too. Because I can't really place. Like, there's no reason really. Like, it wasn't like I saw something or I did something right before I sat down. Access to literally any social media. So I'm just like,
We learned this lesson. And like, what made you want to record today? I want to keep the streak. Who gives a fuck?
yeah, I mean, it was motivated by that.
Yeah.
It was motivated by wanting to keep a streak, but not necessarily like really having something to say. Makes a difference.
Yeah. I don't feel any type of way about it. Fine by me.
Yeah, I guess get things.
Mm-hmm. I think that's something they really want you to let go of right now.
Yeah.
Anything in your head telling you how things need to be or should be. I feel like
Sorry. You feel like
I feel like there's this part of baby that has almost felt like guilty for the seasons that we've gone through. Like I said in the call today, like you're in your 9th month of pregnancy, it feels. And like the seasons you've gone through of like not creating as much. And so you're kind of telling yourself, like, yeah, okay, it's fine for me to go through the season. But then once I'm back, I'm going to create godly levels of stuff because then I'll be making up for it. It's like a subtlety of I need to compensate for the lack of time.
Yeah.
When I go back to work, I need to make up for the leave of absence I took because I shouldn't be doing that. And I think sadly, it's not allowing you to fully embrace the time off and the contemplation, reflection that take place during that contraction. And it's putting a whole lot of pressure on the potential expansion. And I think it still stems from feeling as if you need to do something or be something other than fully present in that moment and honoring what feels right for you to create, build, relax into. That's why I feel, and I know you don't fully believe me, and I understand that, but I really feel it's immensely important for baby to understand that she doesn't need to do anything for the rest of her life. And really just sit with that because you really don't. And your mind immediately goes to, well, I got to create the board. I got to do this for the board. I got to do this and that. Not really. If you don't want to record a single video, monitor a group chat, do anything, you don't have to. If you never want to write again, you don't have to do anything. I know you want to do those things, but you don't need to do those things. And also, again, tomorrow, if you come to me and say, I don't want to do anything ever again except lay in bed in big shirt and go on walkies and sip mocos, and you truly felt that in your body, I promise you everything will be okay. I would take great pride in being like, I guess it's time for my fixed fate ass to really crank these courses and online presence, and also probably do some sales thing with Ian or something, and make sure baby can still be there, and I make 300 grand, and we're chilling, big chilling, and baby just gets to be baby. I'm already taking care of most things. It's already just adding something. I'm fine with that. And again, this is an alternative reality that won't happen. But the nervous system of that taking place, I feel as if is what baby's entire being is really yearning for.
I guess I just feel like a grasping or something. I've felt like unsettled over the last 2 days. I couldn't place why. I just feel like there's a part of me that's like, I don't know. Like, I've had to really learn how to do nothing. It's been hard for me. And
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten so good at it. But then it's like,
I don't know, I have a hard time. I can always find something to do. It feels like a compulsion or something.
These are just the final stages.
So it's like, you know, me being here, it's like me contributing in a way, I guess. It's like, I don't know.
And I know part of the stems is not fully trusting me in terms of like being able to run everything without you. I'm doing my best to become more balanced in that.
Yeah, you've been doing an amazing job.
And there's also a part of you that just isn't ready to let go. And letting go doesn't mean not doing anything ever again. But letting go means letting go of the need to do, to feel like you're contributing.
Yeah, I guess it's just like after our conversation the other day, we were talking about like the trust aspect, and like I really took that to heart, and because I do trust you completely to do everything, and you've been doing such an amazing job. But I just feel like when I trust you to do everything, then I don't really have much to do, and then I'm like, what do I do now? And then it's like I feel like it's come at a unique time because I have very little energy and I've just been like resting a lot, and then I don't know, I'm having a hard time like watching you like exert all this energy during the day when I'm not doing much. Makes me feel bad. I don't want to like leave you on an island or something.
Have you asked me how I'm feeling and how I'm experiencing it?
Well, you look like you're like having a great time and you're like, I had a great day. I'm just like, wow.
This is literally the happiest I've ever been in my life and the most fulfilled.
It's hard for me to screw my head around. I think I'm just not used to like, I don't know. There's an impulse where it's like I see somebody doing something and then I'm used to just helping. Like that's just what I grew up doing. It's like
Well, you had to help.
yeah. I don't know how to not help, because it's like that's what I was expected to do. And I get, I understand why it was like that, but it's just like I don't know. I just have a compulsion to like get up, It's like when I see you doing things, I have a compulsion to get up and to help.
I would prefer to lock your office door.
Because then I'm just like, I'm just like sprawled out and I have my like books I carry around.
Yeah.
And then it's like for a couple days, I'm like, oh, wait, this is great. Like I'm getting my energy back. And then I have all this energy. And then I see you, working so hard. And then I'm like, well, I have energy now. So now I can help,
No.
and it's like, I guess I don't know what to do with my energy.
The single greatest thing you can do with your energy right now is direct it towards prayer and gratitudes and everything of that realm towards business
Okay.
and towards your own personal happiness, our personal happiness.
Okay.
For your spiritual protection and ascension, my spiritual protection and ascension, and the business's expansion through the metaphysical perspective. That is 100% the best thing. And that's what's different. That's what it's meant to be. Like, that's what Magdalene was meant to do. Did. That doesn't mean that's what you do forever, but that is your job. What if we looked at you resting and being and making your energy or your vibration as high as possible as your job? And then if you want to do something, automatic writing. Because sometimes you're writing lessons for me,
Right.
lessons for you, lessons for collective, and then to whatever level you want to put those out, have a team put it out for you, whatever it may be. That really is the highest thing you can do. You know how we've been using the pregnancy metaphor often. what do mothers do during the later years of being pregnant or later months? There's no point in them getting out of bed to paint the walls of the new baby room.
Yeah.
I feel so excited to be the one that's like, I can do it. That's what's best for my growth. Like I feel better than ever. Now I'm going to be pushing myself physically more than ever. I mean, the past 2 days, I've cut over the span of a year thousands of dollars. It saved us that much money. And really have I's out of T's crossed for everything now. Like it's really rolling. And I'm almost fully there for the business. And like, it's happening.
Automated our meals.
Automate the meals.
And you're learning how to dunk.
Learning how to dunk. I'm literally living life the fullest I possibly can right now. I'm so happy about it.
You've been such a great manager, the team. Yeah, you're just doing it so amazingly.
Yeah.
And I completely trust you to do it. It has nothing to do with trusting you at this point. Because I do trust you completely. I guess it's just about it. Like the word devotion to me is something that I think we've only really seen examples of people finding devotion by doing. And so I think when I'm like in a lack of doing, I feel like I've made a story that I'm not really in full devotion. To keep exerting in some way to keep that spirit alive, but maybe I'm not thinking about it correctly. Maybe I'm thinking about it in a limited way because maybe part of devotion is also the being aspect.
100%
and
is.
kind of holding it in your energy and holding it in your heart and visualizing its success, which I have been doing every day. It's just different. I'm not used to valuing, I think, that aspect. But I see the returns, and I see that every time I invest in the being, it always pays off. I always end up having something happen that's very profound, where I tell you a lesson that comes through it, and then you hear something you needed to hear that clicks into place. I just have more space to, it's like, direct your doing in a more productive, like, incisive way. So I think I'm just in a transition point. Because with social media and everything being removed and me only using my phone as a tool, obviously I've just dove into so many books and systems, and I've just been contemplating so much of so many shadows and gifts and reaching the highest states of all of these beautiful concepts and really enlightened states, in pursuit of that. And I've been really enjoying that. But I guess I have not really seen that as a contribution. I guess it feels like I'm like the member of the group project who is like not doing anything, and I was never that person. I was the person who did the group project. I was never the person who was just a great vibe,
That was my job.
I know, we
switch
flipped.
places.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but maybe
I
imagine
don't
it, right?
know how to be that person.
So let's say, I just did all the emails. I would love for you to overlook them. What that can look like is you come to my office in big shirt, chilling on the couch, and then we go one by one, and you're just like, change that word. And you just go down. That's like a huge task. That's like the formative communications. Or if like any other thing to approve, I can like direct you on what needs to be done.
Okay.
During the seasons of the month that you're ready and willing to do it. There's that.
Yeah, I think it would help if you told me you feel that could use my eye because I think, yesterday I was I was sitting in my office because I'm like, oh, okay, well, I want to
Well,
wait.
Cam's in his office.
Right. And I'm like, well, and then I waddle my ass over there and I sit down and I'm like, just kind of restless. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, literally,
And
like, I don't know.
in
what
my
to
head,
do.
I was like, what the fuck you doing in the office? I'm like, what the fuck you doing in there?
And then I just find things to do.
Yeah, that aren't oftentimes like the most high leverage.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
I'm not saying
yeah.
it wasn't worth it,
yeah.
but
I see what you mean. They're probably not the highest leverage, and if they probably could be done by someone who's not me. But it's like when I'm just sitting there, like, like I like go into my task list, and I'm like, maybe me and baby should have like a session so he could tell me what needs to be done.
well, I would love that,
Right.
but I don't think there's anything, number one, you do individually or alone
Oh, okay.
going forward.
I think that would help.
Yeah, and then everything I do, if I'm there, you're not going to be bullshitting. And
Right. Because sometimes I just sit, especially recently, I haven't like I don't use my phone like leisurely anymore. So I'm literally just sitting there, kind of like
in contemplation.
right, and I'm in it kind of reminds me of like in Japanese culture where like if the boss doesn't leave, like no one leaves.
Yeah.
And so it could be like 11 p.m., but you can't leave until the boss leaves. And it's like because you're working, then I feel like I have to be in my office. And I wasn't aware I was doing this. It was completely unconscious, but it became very obvious to me yesterday because usually I go to my office for a reason. And I think I went for a reason. I did one thing. And then I just started to try to invent things that I needed to do that like are actually needed to move the business forward. But like they could be done by someone else. And so I just noticed what I was doing yesterday. Just the like kind of I just caught it. And then I think I've just been in a state of like
Are you forgetting that you're the boss?
what do you
Baby, you own the LLC. You're the boss. You're the board like person. You're the boss. And what I think, and I really want to put this on your awareness because I feel that this is very, very true. Like today I did not, besides the call we had, besides like a similar few things, it wasn't super productive for me. And I feel as if I am only able to embrace what I'm meant to be doing that moment as a, and you're fearing what I'm about to say. I can feel it as a direct reflection of you embracing what you're meant to be being at that moment.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because some days, like I set up all this, like the environment, to-do list, and I'm just like, I can't.
And then if you go find me, I'm like,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, coincidence?
right.
For the 500th day?
Okay.
And so I think there's something there where energetically, if you just embrace what you act, yeah, you got that look. That's how you know. You know there's some truth behind it.
I'm just looking.
But all I'm saying is the more you embrace
The being.
the more
You embrace the doing.
I embrace the doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm going to be with you. That's also good for me.
Yeah.
That's my balance.
I think you're right. I think maybe what is been depleting me is like I've been excited about my period being over and me having more energy to get all the things done.
So what are you doing? You're rushing the most important part of your cycle.
Yeah, I'm rushing it. And then I'm like acting like I'm in a different place than I actually am. And it's just so funny because I understand why this is happening.
You sound like a pregnant woman who's rushing to get the baby out so she can lose weight.
Right, right. It's like, hello? Like, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But I've been contemplating recently, remember what I told you about how I had that big breakthrough around the slight moment of like when you sense an incoherence with when you're talking to someone, and then when you push past that moment and you continue to basically like bring their nervous system into coherence through the sheer like power of your will, and then you go too far because it takes so much labor to hold someone's, like, to bring someone into regulation, that the body eventually just says, nope, I'm done,
And it shuts off.
and it shuts off. So I've just been deeply contemplating that because I really feel that's been so embedded in how I operate, because I think I was just expected to like always kind of be on, but I'm definitely not always on, and I'm always kind of in a stable mood, I would say, for the most part, I guess. But I definitely feel like I sacrifice my own internal rhythm for other people a lot. And so I think I've been literally contemplating that as an idea over the last like week. And then I ask, like, can you show me examples of how I do that? And then I think like this was one of the examples, because I feel that there's like a greater goal of having like, something as simple as weekly episodes. And that's me and you sitting here. And I love having our conversations. And I love that. And I've been very excited about like us being consistent with our sharing. And so that overall goal is important enough for me to say, I'm going to sacrifice how I'm feeling. And I'm going to sacrifice the rhythm of the moment. And I'm going to push through my own rhythm in order to achieve a higher goal. And I think that that's just one of the patterns that I'm becoming more aware of. And I think it's like when I'm out of my rhythm is when I'm incoherent. And I think I'm starting to understand. It's like when I move out of where I'm at to kind of like go to a different place, it almost creates like a disassociation within myself. So then you feel like you're like, oh, you're not being yourself. And I'm like, no, I'm myself.
I can be myself.
And it's like,
This is me. I am ready to talk about the year in review 2025.
Yeah. And I think this is just a great example of that, because I guess I thought that it only came into play in like social interactions, but now I'm also seeing it at a broader level. It really does feel like the thing that is at the root. It's the core wound.
Yeah.
Just allowing myself to be in my rhythm. And then the kind of wild thing is like being in your rhythm is not being a certain way. It just means being true to whatever you are in the moment. It's not like, oh, I'm not in my rhythm because I'm not joyous and happy. It's like, no, I'm not in my rhythm when I try to be a way that I'm.
You're in your rhythm when you're fully embracing you. And that's what I was trying to articulate at the beginning of this, to where it's like, it's different to try to perform when you don't want to perform. That's not coming on camera sad or angry or shame. That's very different.
Right.
Trying to be a way you're not is never the right way. But when you're authentically, name the emotion, that's perfect exactly as it is.
Or if you're just not, like, it's almost just like a practice of not pulling yourself out of how you're feeling in order to feel a different way.
Pulling yourself out of exactly, because you're telling yourself, I'm not worthy. I can't be loved at a certain state, so it must be something else.
Exactly.
And that's
you don't
why
think you can be seen in a certain state of element. It's like you have to kind of shapeshift because it's like, no, no, wait, I have to be this certain way though.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people that's why they don't want to ever be on camera, right? They're afraid to be seen in that way. But also people that are very um comfortable, I'd say, like now that we are on camera, whatever it may be, there's still just some days like I just don't want to do it. And that doesn't mean you're hiding something. You don't want that day's moods to not be shared. But it's just sometimes we just don't want to do it. And it's the not divine, whatever other word you want to call it, masculine part of the rigidity of society to where like every day you have to show up at this time or else you're fired and your kids starve.
Yeah.
That's how it went. And so that's what we're kind of phasing out of, thankfully. And it starts by us embodying that in our own ways. Like this is the biggest feminine lesson, which is why you're learning it right now.
Yeah.
This is the feminine.
I mean, it takes a level of devotion to not.
And trust.
Like it really does.
Well, you're devoted to yourself.
Yeah.
You're devoted to the highest good, which happens when you are fully self-expressed. Self-expression literally means allowing yourself to fully express, whenever that may be. We've used that word as like rapid creation, which is true. That oftentimes happens when you're fully expressed, but this is what it would look like.
I think I have to really sit with the word devotion, kind of see it from multiple angles, because I think I had a limited view of it, which would make me judge myself. Because I want to be a living embodiment of devotion as well. But I think that it will naturally look different for both of us.
And for neither of us, it's going to be devotion equals one episode a week of Whimsy World.
Right. Well, it's like what we talked about earlier. It's like when the fear exists in the psyche, it will pick a place to locate and make a home.
Mm-hmm.
Because it needs to make sense of itself.
It needs to hold on.
Yeah, exactly. And I've just been feeling this like the first couple of days of us being in this dynamic where I said I fully trust you to do everything, which I do. And then you're like, okay, bet. Now I'm just going to do everything. I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, this is great. It's like the first 48 hours.
And then the shadow side comes out. It's like, shit.
And I'm just like, like flopping around, so happy. I'm just like, doing nothing, laying around, getting so much energy, reading all day, napping. And then it's like, day 3 or 4 come around and you're like, damn, okay, so what do I do? and then it's like not only that comes around, because it's like, oh, could I really just keep doing this? It's like that's kind of comes in where it's like, oh, could I really?
You know what's funny though? Like you had that moment to where like, okay, what do I do? And we immediately didn't go to like creating or anything. There was energy that wanted to be expressed.
Yeah.
But even if there's been multiple conversations in the past of what is your highest use and effectiveness for the business of your energy, those have been made very clear.
Right.
Other than going to those when we feel more energy, we go to everything that isn't that.
Well, that's not necessarily true because I did create those amazing documents.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Which I felt very proud of. And I felt like, whoa, like I got just so much done and I wasn't over fixated on like small little things that like have taken me hours in the past. Like I felt really good about that. And then I think maybe I just like wanted that again, and I was like, oh, okay. well, what else could I do that give me the same
And
feeling?
chase that feeling. The mind's like, I want that feeling again.
Oh my God, I love that feeling.
But what gave you that feeling isn't getting those things done, but it's fully honoring that that is what you want to do in that moment.
Right. And
And so
I
maybe
think
in that,
that's the part I'm kind of struggling with in this moment because, like, you know, I had this moment yesterday where I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the task list. Because, like, there was a period where I was just sitting in front of my computer and I was looking at the list. And I was like, okay, what can I do in this moment? And I look at my high priority task and it's like create the board newsletter, create the welcome letter, you know, like just these like super high level things. And then I was like, well, I'm not in the right space to do that because I don't have enough energy to do that. So, no, okay, let me find something else to do that can like scratch the itch basically, but not like the ultimate itch.
so I can tell myself I got things done.
So I can feel a little bit of that feeling of like, oh, nice. And then I can be excited and I can tell you and I can feel like I contributed. So I
If
had
I
this
wanted more of
moment.
that, I'd date a man.
But I was just like so excited. And then I was just like sitting in front of the list and then I'm like, oh, well, all the high leverage things, like I definitely don't have the energy for it. Like that does not feel right to me in this moment. But then what's kind of funny is like now I'm kind of realizing that it's me having energy and trying to like funnel it into something rather than being like, I'm going to trust that if I just keep pouring the energy back to myself, then one of these days it'll be like, it's time to do this very specific high leverage task. But it's like my avoidance of trusting that is making me like get half the amount of energy I need and then put it into something that's not high leverage. Does
It's
that
like
make sense?
100%. It's like you don't really allow your energy to build up
Right.
so that it can be used for something great.
Yeah, because I mean, I have so much energy. It's like when I'm half full, it feels like I'm so full of energy. And then I'm just like, what do? I keep putting this, I keep making this more energy. I don't know. I guess I'm just not used to having that much energy and
Part of
not
me,
like exerting it.
part of me is like, all right, Elle, we're capping you at only one high leverage thing a week.
Shit.
You
Okay,
know what
I mean, we could try it, sure.
Yeah, I don't have to do that, but I'm just saying it's almost the opposite effect because you want to like embrace the I can do a high leverage thing every day, and then we'll be there and it'll be all fine.
Right, I think that's exactly what it is.
But it's like,
Because I think we both talk about it and then it's like, well, yeah, let's do one high leverage thing a day. And I'm like, okay, you do one and I do one.
no, I'm saying I'll do that
Are you sure?
because my energy is ready for that.
Okay. So with all this said then, what would you like me to do? What's the best way I can serve you in the business?
For the next handful of days, it is to fully allow yourself to relax
Okay.
and embrace whatever the moment calls for, whether it means laying in bed, reading from the books you love that are really helping us better understand ourselves, the prayer book, walks, in a period, maybe not working out or anything like that, but just like relaxation. And if something comes up where you're like, I really want to do the newsletter, go do that.
But do I run by what energy comes to me by you beforehand so that I make sure that I'm not just like trying to misplace half the energy into some random thing?
I feel as if it's time for you to trust yourself on that.
Okay.
So I'm not the energy police.
Ah.
And all other things that aren't like the high leverage creative things, you and I can do together.
Okay, so you're saying, okay. What I think I would like to do is I like to create in my journal the panda plan. I like to do the high leverage tasks. We can decide on these together. And then when I'm feeling a lot of energy, I look at that only and I pick from that. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Okay. I think that's the part
that I've been missing, because I think that I like have energy, go to my computer, look at the task list, and I'm like, okay, I could knock out like this. But then it's like, then the biggest one doesn't get done. But if I just am super militant with my energy and just say, no, it's gonna go here. That's it. You know what I mean? I feel like that could make a difference.
What would Oprah do?
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I think that'll help a lot. So let's say like that's what would help you and best serve the business the next couple days. But what do you see as my role in general?
You know what I just said?
Yeah.
That.
Okay.
And just knowing that in some in some seasons of the month, you have a lot more energy and you may do more high leverage tasks in that given week. And then there's going to be a season of the month where you don't do anything. And I consider that the most important season. And what that takes is trust that you and I have really understood what the highest leverage task things are. Made it very, very simple for you to understand and access. And trust that anything else that needs your input will be delivered to you on a silver platter, which it easily can be. Pretty much with me right there doing it with you, which when we do together, it's extremely productive. So this is still your thing, but it's kind of like safeguarding you from focusing on the small things. And the stuff like you're saying that you've done the past few days, those are good things, 100%, and will be used in the business. But we want to focus your energy on the great things.
Okay.
But that's it. Like, and then the high leverage tasks are literally, I really want this to get through your head. The only things you will ever, I don't even want to use the word have to or need to, because that's not even a thing, are the only things that you quote unquote do. In the rest of your life, in the rest of your life,
In the rest of your life.
everything else is handled. Everything else is handled.
The rest of your life.
It's only
Okay.
the creative things that you know that you deeply enjoy towards a business that you have been pouring your heart and soul into, and you are the energy behind it. As you build it, all that must be done on your end are the things that really matter. Everything else is taken care of.
Okay.
Baby, it is my highest excitement. It is my pleasure and privilege. Truly. That's it.
But
And
you
most
really
days.
feel like that's
Yeah. If you were a CEO, right? Think of yourself in my shoes. If that's what I am. I don't know what our job titles even are. But as a business manager, let's call it that.
Yeah.
How else would you want to do it? Would it be having you work a 9 to 5 no matter how you feel? Fuck no.
Okay.
And I really hope you understand, as we are beginning to learn more and more about, as you're reading these books, as all these things are happening, the details of the business are, of course, are important. And if they're not done, then it's not going to work. But it's literally just ones and zeros on a screen. that mean nothing, that anyone else can do, that AI is doing for everyone, whatever levels they're ready to actually learn that can't be done by AI. That's not what's going to separate us or what's going to make this thing work. What makes it work is the energy imprint behind it. And that's you sending in energy. Having it on your awareness does not mean that you are the one in the nitty-gritty details. And I feel as if, let's say 10 years from now, when the board is one of a dozen type things we have, even at that point, just in your daily routine, sending the board energy as you continue to become more and more of this infinite well of light. That is the greatest impact you can make in the business.
Okay.
That is the feminine. You're dousing it with love and care, and people feel it. That's why the dish made by your grandmother always tastes better than the one made in the store or at a restaurant. That's what you're doing. And just trusting that in that example, we're also going to have the best quality ingredients. We're attracting the best people. Everything's possible. But without the love, without the energy and reassurance and affirmation that this not only is going to work, but is going to be the single greatest place that people can put their energy towards, resource-wise and time-wise. Truly not only believing that, but knowing that that mode of energy is the most powerful thing you can be doing right now. Because people feel that. And that will always be the most powerful thing you can do. For everything we do.
Making sure that I'm giving.
And noticing that you don't have to give anything ever again.
Mm.
Because when you fully give energy from a wanting to, not a need to, that is when it's felt to a whole different level.
It's important to start to tune myself to that feeling. Because I think it's been most joy producing for me recently. It's been just like the inner work, the contemplation, understanding ourselves at a deep level. That's really where my passion has been.
And it's bringing, you have joy in that area for a reason. Our highest excitement is what will grow everything we're doing.
Because it feels like I'm getting codes to make everything that we're doing feel even better. Because I am excited about everything we're doing and like the vision of what we're creating. I think it's marvelous. It's marvelous.
So just like you're saying with target slide and everything else, constructing it into our reality as you teach me to do the same. As two very high consciousness beings. I mean, has no chance not to be incredibly powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just, I guess it's just a unique mix of things happened over the last couple of days because remember how I told you I started visualizing what I was wanting to do that day before I got out of bed. And then I started like immediately noticing the results of that. And then it was like, I did that and I made all those documents for the walk host. And I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that worked. And then it's just like, it's just something about that. I love seeing the payoff of it and being like, wow, I can use my energy effectively. I think it just like, I need to start visualizing those tasks, those high leverage tasks, you know?
I say you don't even start visualizing the high level tasks until you start visualizing laying down all day.
Okay. So you want me to visualize
So
me just laying down?
on the days that you felt great after doing those tasks,
Yeah.
that morning you visualized what those would look like.
Mm-hmm.
And that visualization felt very authentic and true and embodied to what you actually wanted to do and be that day.
Exactly. Yes.
That's why they worked.
Yeah.
It must be aligned with what your being wants.
Yes. The rhythm.
It gets your mind on the same page as your being.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's the ego. A few days in, it's like, all right, I'm gonna do the same thing, if not more. Completely not listening to the body first, completely not checking in on what the being actually wants.
Yeah.
Because more than likely what happened is you're like, okay, now I'm going to focus on this today. Because I'm going to have another great feeling. That feeling wasn't caused by hitting the checklist in the Google Doc saying this task is done. The feeling was caused by embodying what your body wanted for that day. And making sure your mind was on the same track for that, making that happen.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, we can definitely focus on envisioning high leverage tasks being done through you, but also only on days where you feel like that's actually in the cards, when you feel an abundance of energy and you feel ready.
Okay.
And on days that you don't, especially if you're on a period on your cycle time, like envision yourself laying in bed.
Okay.
Envision yourself in contemplation. Envision yourself reading chapters, praying, whatever it may be. And then your mind, because imagine how great you'd feel if you envisioned that and then you actually did it.
Yeah.
All
true.
you're being, but oh.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Okay.
And then if you see that as just as big of a win for yourself, for myself, and for the business as you writing the freaking newsletter, that is the moment the newsletter will become easy.
Yeah.
And you will flow into when and how it's meant to be made.
I see.
But until then, there will always be friction because you're saying, well, I like this whole envisioning thing, but only if it's doing. If only if
Yeah.
it's this very particular type of action that just so happens to deeply soothe all the negative voices in my mind.
That's convenient. Yeah.
It's convenient to envision every day you conquering the world.
Right.
But what if you just want to rest?
Right. Okay. I see.
Okay, I can do that.
Try that. And maybe it's like I ask myself, what rhythm am I in today? And what does my rhythm want from me?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then just see what comes.
No should I, no need to. Know what's best for the business. Because what's best for business, literally, again, I'm saying, and I don't fully believe me yet. Until it's actually embodied, then we see the results. But it's you vibing. And just like we talked about, there's some connection in this divine union between you and I to where when you are embodying what you're meant to do, it projects onto me. And I'm embodying what I'm meant to do for that day.
All right. For being patient with me.
Everything is my favorite thing in life. You understand?
Yeah. Never win this morning. I to tell you something. I was anxious when I woke up. And it was like, I am infinitely patient. Tell me. You really are.
I'm made in a lab for you.
Literally. Well, it's just also, I think, now that I've removed myself from social media lovingly, I feel like now I don't really have anything to be triggered by. So then I'm just kind of like, my ego's like grasping at straws. Like, the meetup group. And I'm like, why am I thinking about the meetup groups again?
I'm just glad you're not being triggered by me.
No.
For now.
No, that's not. What would I be triggered by?
Yeah, good point.
An infinitely loving oak tree? Like, oh, fuck that tree. Like, why? Never.
Yeah, it's just finding things that become less and less rational.
And then it finds one, and then I bring it to you, and then you just like dismantle it. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then it'll be like, but what about this? And I was like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me spin on that. And then I'm like, bring it to you, and you're like, dismantle. And I'm just like, okay. But what about this? And yeah, that used to be really kept going by the social media usage because people give me plenty of things to be triggered by. But then it's like I'm going back into the archives sometimes. I'm like,
Oh, we're getting there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're digging deep right now. I've been enjoying it.
I'm like,
We're getting near the
what
end.
about this thing I saw months ago? Thoughts on that? And it's like, bruh.
We're getting near the end, though.
I think so too. But it's just so funny how it's like a detox period of some kind where your ego is just literally grasping at straws. Anything to avoid. Just stillness. Okay. Well, big one. I appreciate your patience.
I mean, my life is pretty fantastic. I can keep being patient forever. You tell me I get to be patient with an infinitely loving being who loves me in all moments and never projects anything onto me. And the biggest problem is like deciding which tech platform that will probably soon pay us a lot of money to host our thousands of people that want to be in our presence.
It is pretty funny, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I just need to hold in my mind about this rhythm thing and just ask myself, what would I do if I was in like a vacuum? Like if there was like nothing and no one and nobody's opinion and no one I could potentially let down. Really, what would I do?
Let down?
Yeah.
Who could you ever let down?
I just make up a story in my head that I let you down. I was like, well, when he's working so hard, I don't
like seeing you. I prefer just open the door and see you just chilling.
You do love when I'm just slumped.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Like, that's nice. Because I feel like when I'm slumped, You have more energy.
It's always how it works.
Yeah, it's funny. And then when I'm like doing, it's like every time you go lay down, then like I start doing.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I'm like,
I wake up, I'm like, why? I'm never happy you're doing it. I'm like, it makes me feel worse.
you're like, why? You like come out of your nap and you're like, hey, Berthan. And you find me in my office. You're like, what
Like
are you doing
telling
here?
Samika the exact same thing. Either I already told her or about to tell her I had to like do this after the nap. And I'm like, it's so funny. But I really feel like in the masculine femme dynamic, every time you feel as if you need to do, it's hindering.
Hindering you.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, it's hindering your doing.
Yeah.
Because here I am thinking like, we have to both be doing it at the same time because
No.
it's a partnership. But it's actually like, what if? It's like the poles.
It's like yin and yang.
Yeah. And it's like, what if?
And there will be times like in our life where you're doing and I'm being more.
Right.
Like there was in the past.
Right.
But no, I think it's my season of doing and your season of being.
Okay.
And I feel like it's a very important one where like we're really allowing ourselves to understand that we can be masters of both. So I can prove myself that I can master do and like create all the amazing things you want to do. And you can masterfully be for the first time of your life. Because your life has always been like insanely busy.
And I think it's like part of the lesson right now is the only time that you're doing is when it's very high leverage. It's like just being more discerning for me, I think.
Yeah. The only time you're doing is when it actually feels right to do. When it's coming from joy and love and excitement and not, well, I should be doing this because either I'm doing something or this needs to be done now or whatever it is. Like nothing needs to be done now.
Just giving yourself more and more layers of permission. And there also just is a template for someone or couple that we know who's doing it. So I feel like we are
Well, the first.
first that we're aware of. Yeah. Know if there are okay. I can focus. I think it's like the channeling of my energy into the proper places is very important. So if it's going to disturb me out of my being activities, then it's got to be worth it.
Disturb you.
Okay? No?
You're never going to be disturbed again. You're going to joyfully rise like a phoenix out of the bed towards the journal, towards the laptop, and create out of your highest excitement because it's happening through you. But disturb you.
No, I was saying in the reverse. I was saying that, like, if it's going to, I guess that was not the right word, but my intention was to say, like, for the small tasks, because right now, like, anything can pull me out of my being because I have it on my mind and I feel a sense of urgency to do it.
Because you're desperate to be pulled out of your being. And so your mind is finding
always
things.
True, but I definitely feel like when I'm being more than I'm aware of, like, I could be being, then the mind's like, go do this thing. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, yeah, you're right. I should go do that. You know what I mean? It's like there's a threshold for being. then when I hit that threshold, that's when the ego starts coming in, like, go do this thing.
It's always right before the huge unlock.
Right. Like, okay. So I just need to resist that and maybe figure out some kind of way to let it go in the moment.
I feel as if it's you tell yourself, honestly, like, there's nothing I need to do today.
Okay.
I think it's an affirmation to have.
There's nothing I need to do. I feel like I've gotten better at this, but it's just another level of it.
It's the final level. You've gotten so much better at it.
It's just like using my life force properly. Kind of like allow my life force to not be used very well.
You allowed it to be abused your whole life.
I've like pulled myself out of my own rhythm and sacrificed whatever my actual rhythm was to like meet someone else in their rhythm or pull them or emotionally labor so we could meet in the middle. It's like just to such a larger extent. Over see that. And it's like when you are fully in your rhythm is when you're most magnetic. And I think that that's what we're going to start to see.
You're most magnetic when you're fully in your rhythm. Yes. That's a video.
That's what it feels like. That's what's coming. Because that's like why everything that we've done works, because I really want to do it. And then people, like, they see it. Just like the Forrest Gump movie, when he was running, he turns around, there's like a horde of people behind him. Just like he was in his rhythm. He said, I want to run.
On the days a lot of people came to Great Morning, you were jumping out of bed
Right.
that morning.
I
On
was
days
excited.
that no one really came, you were like barely ready at 8.
Because I was pulling myself to be there. Okay. Maybe that's the fear
What is that fear?
having to be a certain way, being pulled on my rhythm. Maybe that's what I fear. Like launching the board, for example, because there's a part of me that feels like I need to be pulled out of my rhythm to do it.
Because you've had a certain tolerance of doing stuff you don't want to do. You feared going over that tolerance. That's why you must build things that don't need your one-on-one energy. That don't need you to show up at a certain time.
Just need to build it. I think we already are, but I feel like everything we do, we just need to build around. How can we build something that allows us to show up exactly as we are, or not show up because that's what creates safety. And it's kind of like, when you plant a seed and the seed starts out of the ground. It's very tender. It's very fragile. And it has to have the right conditions in order to feel safe to grow. And it has to be nurtured and protected. And I feel like that's what I feel in this moment. But then if you actually were to give that little sapling a lot of safety and protection in the right environment, then it can grow into a giant cherry blossom tree and just be so beautiful. Have hundreds of blooms and just be marvelous. But it can't do that without the proper conditions.
Or expectations that it must bloom at a certain time. It's out of tune with nature.
Or that it blooms the whole year. Because cherry blossoms bloom for 1 month. That's it. But they take care of
one of the most sought after flowers ever.
honoring the
I'm proud of you. It's the best job. It's up to baby. I have a feeling it's going to be around relaxing. Go see new Avatar? Let's do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Popcorn?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I really.
Serious? I really enjoyed last time we did it. Let's do it again. I'll make it happen.
Really?
Yeah. Great talk, beep beep.
Sweet.
Thank you all for listening to that very special episode of Whimsy World. That was definitely a conversation that we're so glad was recorded. Even though it was a conversation we weren't expecting to record or publish, it was just something that felt like a deep transformation for Elle and myself. And we're really glad we can share that with you. So if you want to hear more conversations like this, we have plenty of Whimsy World and listen for the episodes that you can find on this channel. And we would love it if you could like and subscribe to see more. Thank you so much. We love y'all. See you soon. Peace.